the people who are successful in this world have a great work ethic. I mean, we have people in this state who've worked in the same place for 40 years and never missed a day of work. And then we can't play every play. Those things should and do go hand in hand. We've all lost games where we could have advanced, and it usually comes down to a play or two. The consistency, not taking plays off, and I think the greatest analogy of that is people who don't take work off. You know, I grew up here waking up in the morning and snow up to your waist. You got that radio on hoping they'd say school was closed. The thing that I always heard was Midvale Coal Mine number 9 will work.
Coach Hugs.
What's going on, man?
How are you, man? Great to be here on your turf. Good to be seen and great to see you. We're going to go back a little bit. We're going to go back as far as you can see. Okay, so we're going to talk present and then we'll talk a little future. But
well, I want you to know that your name is mentioned probably once every couple of weeks when my wife makes spaghetti from your mother's recipe.
My late mom, yeah. Me and Larry, your brother Larry, he and I were classmates in '79. I don't know if were you there at the graduation party?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I went back and talked to your mother.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Went back in the kitchen and she gave me the recipe and I brought it home and gave it to June and said, this is the best spaghetti I've ever eaten in my life, and we've been having it ever since.
That's awesome. That is awesome, man. This feels like home for you to me. Is that right?
Well, I was born here.
Yeah.
I was born here, lived here till I was, I don't know, almost 10 years old, and then moved to Ohio and then grew up, you know, the rest of the time in Ohio. But every relative I have other than my brothers and sisters and my dad are here. Starting your 10th year as the head coach here, but let's go back to Cincinnati. That was a special run there. 16 years, Final Four, Elite Eight. Well, we had great guys. You know, we had guys that came in from really all different walks of life, and they'd have things to prove, you know. Played with a chip. I mean, we played with a chip on our shoulder. And
was that you, them, or a combination of both of you?
Oh, I think it was a combination of both. You know, when we really got it going, we got it going with junior college guys. You know, I loved those guys. Yeah. I loved their passion. I loved their will to win, their will to succeed, and I loved the city of Cincinnati. Still do. Mm-hmm. I wish them nothing but the best. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to do what I'm doing, to be able to go over to the practice facility that the people of West Virginia built for us. You know, that's all private money.
That's another source of pride for you, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, Clark, everybody said you can't do it, you know, and everybody said, Hugs, you got to understand, this is West Virginia, man. And I'm like, why can't we be the best? And found a whole bunch of other people who said the same thing. Why can't we? Let's be the best. And, yeah, it is a source of pride. I think it's a source of pride for our whole state.
We talk about West Virginia or Bob Huggins is not for everybody, and everybody is not for Bob Huggins. It's kind of like Hugs' reputation precedes the conversation. When we would call on a recruit, and they'd say, oh yeah, Coach Huggins, man, I heard he's really intense, and he gets you to really, you know, to play hard.
Hey, Suggs, if you're not gonna go play, go sit down on the bench over there and stay there. Then when you're sitting on a bench in a game, don't pout.
Well, I'll be honest, being recruited by him, if I would have knew he did that much yelling, I wouldn't have went to Cincinnati. Hugs and I had a love-hate relationship. He loved me, I hated him. It's funny being on this side of the ball and as a coach, now I see everything Hugs did. There was a method to his madness.
Come on, Beetle! Keep him uncomfortable, Beetle! Make him uncomfortable! Run him down, Beetle! Don't foul! You know you wrapped your arm around him, right? It's automatic.
He'd kill you in practice, and afterwards, he'd build you back up.
Hey, you're also the fastest guy in the gym, right? So why don't you run by him, get back in front, instead of running beside him?
That was Hugs' Jedi mind trick.
Yo, come here. Yo, come here. I understand it gets a little monotonous because we have to do the same thing over and over and over again until we learn it, right? Mm-hmm. So when you come out and you don't work at it, And when you don't make your teammates better, you might as well not be here. So I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Can we play? Sure. You've cheated your teammates.
Coach Huggins has done something here at West Virginia that's never been done before. In 2 years, Coach raised the money to put together a world-class practice facility. In turn, when we bring guys in here, there's a real reaction that we are a big-time basketball program and we are going to compete for a national championship.
We're keeping stats. He's shooting 59% from three. That's pretty good. You better guard him, right?
I'm not much on reflecting. I try to keep going forward. I don't like to back up. My mom grew up right there, in that house right there. My grandfather came over here from Italy. Actually, I think he kind of smuggled himself onto the boat. This was Seneca Glass. This is where my grandfather worked. That's where he got his first job. They don't make glass there anymore, but from what I understand, there's still china in the White House that was made here. That, I don't know, conceivably my grandfather maybe was part of blowing it, I don't know. This is where my dad grew up and I grew up. We lived in that cement block house first, and then we switched houses and we moved over where my grandfather grew up. If I sat back there in Doug Hill in my grandfather's lap and listened to the Mountaineer games, you know. That's a little league field where I played right there. You grow up following a school and then you get the opportunity to come back and coach at it and be a big part of it. It's, I mean, what else is there to do, you know? When we went to the Final Four, the governor had the games piped into the mines because they were afraid nobody would go to work because they were so excited about the game. You grow up here, it's a way of life, you know.
Bob, you played here. Mm-hmm. Got 2 degrees from here.
Yes, sir.
Back here now in your 10th year. Did you know you were going to be coaching?
No.
I mean, you grew up playing the game. Your dad was a Hall of Fame high school coach in Ohio. You played for him. When did the coaching bug grab you?
When I got cut by the 76ers.
Is that right?
I was going to be a physical therapist.
Okay, there you go.
And then I applied to Penn and was accepted to Penn Physical Therapy School. That was in the 70s, Vietnam, people coming back with half an arm and half a leg. And I was like, nah, this isn't really what I want to do the rest of my life. So I got a chance to go to the 76ers camp and stayed longer than I should have. And Coach Gardner said, why don't you help me as a GA? So I was a GA here for a year. And
what did you like about it most?
just being around the guys.
Yeah.
Feeling like you maybe have a chance to help somebody achieve their goals.
Mm-hmm. And obviously your concern for them is something that sometimes people don't always see.
Well, that's what keeps me doing what I'm doing, that's for sure. I wonder sometimes, you know, why I started doing what I'm doing, because it wasn't really what I prepared to do educationally or any other thing. I want to be able to have an influence on young people's lives. And I think that's a great thing. You know, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you made a difference. I lost my mother to cancer, and it was a grueling deal, and she hung on to her 50th wedding anniversary. Everybody knew my mother, so I knew when my mom passed away that, you know, there would be a tremendous outpouring.
It's great to have everybody out. This is, as you know, very near and dear to my heart. We wanted to do something, so we started the Norman May Huggins Endowment Fund. So if any of you want to write a check, go right ahead. Let's get to $2 million quick. Thank y'all.
We have a high cancer burden in West Virginia, and people that want innovative clinical trials for new drugs, etc., oftentimes had to go out of state to obtain those. So what we're able to do is provide them the optimal care they need, so people don't have to travel when they have such a severe disease.
Thank you, Coach.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. There he is, the head coach.
West Virginia has many challenges. Coach Huggins is someone that draws people from across the state, all walks of life. It helps us get the word out. In fact, without he's kind of like a magnet for us.
You know,
I don't know why we send flowers. You know, I don't understand that. I think we're better served to try to make something positive out of it.
How are you?
So I told my brothers and sisters, let's start an endowment. I was at University of Cincinnati then, but I said I think we need to do it at WVU. I think we need to do it in Morgantown because, you know, that's Mom loved West Virginia and loved Morgantown. So it's pretty much ingrained, I think, in the family.
Few people in or from the state understand the people and the fabric of the state better than Bob Huggins.
I was doing a speaking thing at the prison in Moundsville, and this lady came up to me and she said, "You need to recruit my nephew." That's how we found out about him, and then we got him down here.
Believe it or not, it's easy. I know people see a lot of things on the sideline. It's never been like that off the court, believe it or not.
Do you ever have guys that, when the lights come on and you're not sure about it, first time out on the floor?
Bob, I don't think I've ever had one of those guys. I've heard about them, but I don't think I've ever had one.
When it's good, and it's been good for a while, it's the biggest thing. He's given football a run for its money, and if you look at the success, he's gone further than football has for quite some time.
We're not playing up and down very much, so it's really hard to tell. We're trying to work on ingraining in their neuromuscular system the right way to do things.
What's
I like that word I threw out there.
Well, that's not bad, considering you're a basketball person.
Mike, appreciate your participation.
I got all my stuff. Osmosis.
Huggy Bear, hugs. Do you have a preference, Huggy Bear, hugs?
I don't care.
You don't really care?
Yeah, I mean, I've been called a lot worse, Clark.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm happy with that.
You're happy with that one? Okay. We all that are in public space have a perception of who we are and who we really are, and you certainly would fall into that category.
Probably at the top of the list.
Well, I was trying to be diplomatic here.
Well, here's what I'm proud of. There was a national publication who was going to try to do a hatchet job on me, and so they called virtually every player that they could think of who may have a problem with me, and they all said, you know, he tried to help me be a better person. He demanded things from me that I didn't know I had to give, and, you know, those kind of things, which are, in my mind, those are very positive things.
Well said, and I will have to say I do enjoy whenever I can catch some of your post-game comments. Can be a little sharp at times. Is that by design, or is that?
No, I get bored.
Oh, it's okay.
You know, you sit there and you answer the same cookie cutter question time after time after time, so you just want to liven it up a little bit. Or you have a guy a columnist who has already written the column, he just needed me to say whatever he needed to fill in, and they act like I don't know what they want me to say, so I say exactly the opposite, just so they have to go rewrite the column.
Okay, so it is documented that you were pretty bright when you were here in school. Was it magna cum laude, or?
It was magna cum laude.
Yeah. They don't just give that title out.
Generally not.
The blue and gold event's just something for a way to get out and let the fans see us for the first time. We're going to Wheeling because that's in the northern panhandle of the state, and those people don't get to come to a game always, so it's a good opportunity for them to be able to see us.
I think the connection with Hugs and the state of West Virginia is the people of West Virginia and what they stand for. You know, he tells them all the time that, you know, not only do they represent the university, but they represent the state. You know, so that they can understand, you know, how hard the people work and the coal mining and what that is all about. And he took our guys there.
We're in the mines for 8 hours, and we really got a feeling of what it was to do that day in and day out. And that gives you a newfound respect for the people that are in this state.
He wants our guys to understand how those people would drive 3 hours on a Tuesday night to come and watch you play, you know, because they believe in you and you represent them. I think when guys leave this university, they have a true love for the state. You know, they're always going to be West Virginians.
Hey, we want to thank you all for coming out tonight. Come see us in Morgantown, please. Come see us in Morgantown. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
History. I'm big on history. People in the past deserve recognition for what they made possible for others. And we didn't do a very good job of that here. That's what I wanted to do with this. This has been my baby. They used to wear jackets to the games, and this jacket was worn by Jerry West and Rod Thorne. This jacket, that's the original letter jacket the first year that I lettered here. You know, people just started saying, you know, Hugs, why don't you get the basket from the old field house that Jerry played on? Well, there it is. That's it right there. And that scoreboard over there was the original scoreboard in the field house. That's the score of the first game ever played in the field house. We keep that score up there all the time. And then this, one time we dressed in the Knicks locker room, and they had something like that of every team that the Knicks ever had with rosters. And I thought, well, that's really neat. And it's really neat now. People will come in here and they'll find their uncle or their cousin or their dad. And actually, my dad is up here. Right here, 5152. It's my dad.
You know, folks look at you as a coach, and you're third all-time of active coaches at the Division I level in number of wins. A couple of Final Four crews. Any one particular stand out for you?
Well, I think 2000 stands out because I thought we were the best team in the country, and Kenyon broke his leg, and I felt so bad for him. And you know, Clark, it's kind of eerie that he goes down and then Deshaun Butler goes down here in the Final Four, and both of those guys had such great character. To this day, I mean, when they come over here and we sit and we talk and we put something on the grill, and they still think they were going to win the game.
Obviously, there's more ground behind both of us than there is in front of us as it relates to basketball. What would you like that last lap or two to look like?
I'd just like to have one run where somebody didn't get hurt. Yeah. Denny Crum said one time we were at the Final Four, and they asked Denny, said, what does it take to win a national championship? And Denny said, you have to be lucky and you can't be unlucky. Mm-hmm. And he pointed at me and he said, that guy's the most unlucky guy I know. because of the injuries that we had. And I'd just like to make one run with, you know, with the full boat one time and see what happens.
Team family, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, family.
If you go around the state, and I've been fortunate to go around and been most places, you drive through a town of 300 people, you're going to see people with WV on their caps, on their shirts, on their pants. People here love West Virginia University. We have talked about what a great thing it'd be to win a national championship here, and then we're going to get a bus. We're going to put that trophy on the bus, and we're just going to go around town to town and say, anybody wants to come touch the trophy, show up. By God, they'll be there with the trophy, and the bus will be there. That'd be the greatest thing that ever happened in this state. We're going to make a run at it.